What's going on, Vikings fans? Welcome in the Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we got some great injury news, and we also got some bad injury news heading into this Week 7 matchup versus the Detroit Lions. And then also, Ben Gessling put out an interesting report saying that Ed Ingram could have an extremely short leash this Sunday, so maybe we'll see some Dalton Risner, but we'll talk about all this on today's show. But before we dive into it, if you guys could help us reach 37,000 subscribers by kickoff this Sunday, we just need 120 more of you guys to hit that sub button. So if you guys want to lock us in as your go-to Vikings YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and help us reach 37,000 subs. So the first negative, bad injury news for the Minnesota Vikings is coming in from Andrew Kramer, and, this is disappointing, but Vikings linebacker Blake Cashman is dealing with turf toe and isn't expected to play Sunday versus the Lions. His status for the next game against the Rams the following Thursday is also in doubt from what I've heard. Now, this is obviously disappointing because Blake Cashman, he wears the green dot. He's relaying all the plays to this defense coming in from Brian Flores, and he's had an awesome start to the year. Like, he was one of the most underrated free agent pickups for Kwesi this offseason, and, we always talk about the buzzword versatility with Brian Flores' defense. You got to be able to do it all, and Cashman did everything at a high level. Like, he's able to get to the quarterback when they do send him on blitzes, or even he's great at just creating pass rush lanes when he is, using those twist concepts to open up, lanes for pass rushers, but he's been great in coverage this year. And he's also got 14 stuffs, which is top 10 at the linebacker position so far. But honestly, I was nervous about this injury when I first got the report, but then I just thought about it a little bit. Camus Grugier-Hill, he has been awesome in his when Ivan Pace did have to miss time. He had 2 interceptions in his first 2 starts. So, obviously, not having Blake Cashman is going to hurt. And when you have the Detroit Lions coming into town where they want to run the ball on 1st and 2nd down, get you in the 3rd and short, and then it just opens up their entire offense with play action, deep shots to JMO. Then you obviously got Laporta and Amon-Ra doing their thing, but not having Cashman's going to hurt. But I'm cool with Camus Grugier-Hill stepping in and playing a big role this Sunday. And then also Ivan Pace, he's going to need to step up. Like, this Vikings run defense is the most important, group heading into this weekend. So having Ivan Pace, he's going to need to have a big-time game. Then you also got to think about it, like Harrison Smith, Josh Metellus, they can step in the box, play some makeshift linebacker as well. So, obviously losing a starter, it stinks, but it's not the end of the world not having Cashman out there. You got Pace, you got Grugier-Hill, and you also got guys that can step into that position and I think play ball at a very high level. But we do have some more negative injury news around T.J. Hockenson. This was coming in from Darren Wolfson. He said this. He says, I do wonder if T.J. Hockenson plays on Sunday, but I'm thinking it's more like October 24th, that you're not going to have to play him 2 games in the course of 5 days. So you make that move ahead of the Rams game, not the Lions game. Now, this is completely different from what we've heard early on in the week. Like, we heard Hockenson looks great. He should be ready to go this weekend versus the Lions. But then also Kevin O'Connell yesterday, he kept on saying, there's a lot of football to be played. We're not going to rush anybody back in his press conference. I think that's indicating that Kevin O'Connell is trying to brace the blow from Vikings fans when they do eventually rule Hawk out this weekend, but they need him on Sunday, especially with no Aiden Hutchinson. I think this would be huge for the Vikings because you don't need that tight end to sit in and chip the edge rusher when he's trying to get to the quarterback. He can just get into his route right away, and having Hawk running those compared to Josh Oliver, Johnny Munt, I mean, that would be absolutely huge. Just having that safety net for Sam Darnold this weekend, I think could be a huge X factor. So hopefully he's able to go, but it's just not looking likely right now. But we do have an injury update around Aaron Jones, and this is a great one. I thought Aaron Jones had no chance to go this Sunday, but Kevin O'Connell thinks he can. He said Aaron is going to progress through the week and has a chance to go on Sunday. I thought after the Cam Akers signing, he had a less than 5% chance to go, but KOC sounded pretty optimistic. And listen, the Vikings are going to need him. And I'll show these stats a lot here on the channel. Sam Darnold this season, when he does have Aaron Jones on the field compared to off, it is a limited sample size, but the numbers don't lie here. Like, his completion percentage drops by 17%, yards per pass goes down, the touchdown to interception ratio goes down, and the passer rating drops by 50 points. So clearly Aaron Jones has an impact, and the advanced numbers back that up as well. Like, he has not saying he's like an undisputed top 3 running back in the league, but the impact he's had on this offense has been huge, and he's been an explosive runner. I mean, 10-plus yard runs. He's got 9. He's forced 16 missed tackles. His rushing yards over expected has been very solid, and he also has been facing, I think he was 7th in the National Football League in 8-man boxes so far this season at 26.7%. But I still think he most likely won't play, so you're going to need other guys to step up. How about the new man on the Minnesota Vikings, Cam Akers? Now, a lot of people were freaking out like, oh, why did we go bring back Akers? You know, we should have swung a little more big for like a Travis Etienne. Even guys wanted the Vikes to go all in on a guy like Nick Chubb. But I think Cam Akers is a great kind of week-to-week replacement for Aaron Jones. He understands the system. He's played with Kevin O'Connell, even dating back to his days with the Rams in Los Angeles. And also last year, he picked up the playbook in a couple days, was able to get out there and be very, very effective for this group. And you also got a guy like Ty Chandler. Like, even though Ty hasn't, came on the scene like a lot of us expected, he has still been very solid this year. He's pretty good in blitz pickup as well, which, Cam Akers is also solid in that. So it's going to be interesting to see who's the third down back, who's getting the most carries on first and second down if Jones won't have to go. But I'm totally cool. Ty Chandler, Cam Akers, they can man the ship while Aaron Jones, will probably have to miss time. But here was the first injury report on Wednesday. I'll tell you what, for a team coming off a bye week, way too many names on this list. But you had Cashman dealing with turf toe. He didn't participate. Caleb Evans dealing with that hip, DNP. Patrick Jones, shoulder, DNP. Aaron Jones with the hammy. And then Harrison Phillips with the shoulder. But Hock and Risner were both limited, which is great to hear. We'll talk about Risner here in a little bit. And then safety Theo Jackson and Josh Oliver were both full participants as well. But kick it to the Lions side here. Carlton Davis, he did clear concussion protocols, but he is also dealing with a quad injury. So he's pretty banged up. He did not go yesterday. And then 3 players for the Lions offensive line. Starting center, Frank Ragnow. It was just a rest day, didn't participate. There's 6 offensive linemen, Dan Skipper, DMP with ribs, and then Kevin Zeitler as well, DMP, just a veteran rest day for him. But that's the injury news for the Vikings and the Lions. Before we talk about Ed Ingram and Dalton Risner, you guys predict the score for me down below. Vikings versus Lions. Let me know what you think the score is going to be. I said it yesterday on our live show. I got the Vikes winning 31-16. I think the difference is going to be, in the red zone and how effective that defense has been. I think it's going to stall out a couple Lions drives, but you guys let me know your thoughts on the game on Sunday. Now, talking about this next. Dalton Risner starting over Ed Ingram. I'll give you guys my thoughts and the reports we got there. But before we dive into that, I do want to give a massive, massive shout out to Public Rec for sponsoring today's show. And if you guys use promo code CHAT at publicrec.com/chat, you guys will get 20% off. Now, let's be real, guys. Wearing pants suck. Who decided that stiff, uncomfortable fabric digging into your family jewels was necessary to go out and look put together? Well, I'm here to tell you that those days are finally over. For a limited time, our listeners get 20% off their entire order when you use code CHAT at publicrec.com. That's 20% off your order at publicrec.com with promo code CHAT. I've been looking for some new clothes to upgrade my wardrobe, and thanks to Public Rec, I look good and feel better. Fellas, trust me on this. Your ladies will love them too. My girlfriend Sam absolutely loves the hoodies and the pants I've been wearing. So stop the suffering in regular pants. For a limited time, our listeners get 20% off when you use code CHAT at checkout. It's 20% off with the code CHAT at publicrec.com. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you here from Chat Sports. So say goodbye to pants that put up a fight, because when comfort meets style, you have found Public Rec. I got that link for you guys in the comments section and description of today's show. So the new report around Ed Ingram, Dalton Risner is that Ed Ingram will be on a short leash this Sunday coming in from Ben Gessling. Now, I originally thought that this was Ed Ingram's last chance against the Detroit Lions. If he ends up struggling, I think they'll just plug in Dalton Risner, see what they have there, and let's just say Risner struggles, pretty immensely. Like, I could see them maybe going to make a move at the trade deadline, but turns out he could be possibly pulled during the game. This is what Ben Gessling had to say. Said, I got a little bit of the vibe the way Dalton Risner talked the other day, and I don't know this for sure, but I got a little bit of a vibe. Yeah, I'm expecting to be out there. I think if Ed Ingram struggles again, I don't think the switch could be very far away at right guard. Now, the reason for this would obviously be Ed Ingram is the worst pass blocking guard in the National Football League. He has definitely improved in the run blocking department. There is no doubt about it. But since he was drafted out of LSU, he has struggled so much in the pass blocking department. 29.4 overall grade. You can't have that, especially, Sam Darnold has okay mobility, but it's not like he's a Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, where even if he gets pressure in the interior, he can just escape and make a play outside the pocket. That's not Sam Darnold's game. You need solid interior protection. And then Dalton Risner last year with the Vikings, a whole lot better. 67.4 pass block grade. Now, Risner is not the run blocker that Ed Ingram is, no doubt about it, but I would rather take just a slight drop off in the run blocking department over a massive drop-off in the pass blocking department, because it's not like Risner is a terrible run blocker. I mean, his grade last year was just 50.0. I'm cool with that. But having a 29.4 pass block grade for Ingram, that just can't happen, because that's going to be the Achilles heel. I'm telling you, I can already see it in a playoff game with the amount of great defensive tackles we have in the NFL right now. Like, could you imagine? You get matched up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's Vita Vea and the crew over there in Tampa Bay just ragdolling Ed Ingram. That can't happen. You take a chance with Dalton Risner, see what he has, but if that doesn't work out, maybe you hit the trade market. But, the Vikings offensive line this weekend, or their defensive line, they're going to need to play well. And, my biggest concern heading into this game is the Lions offensive line getting downhill. Now, they got a fantastic group. Taylor Decker, Graham Glasnow, Frank Ragnow, and Kevin Zeitler. And obviously Penei Sewell, the best right tackle in the game. They're going to try to establish run on early downs, get the play action, and I think that could seriously get the Vikes defense behind the sticks here. But you also got a guy like, Van Ginkel, Bullard, Harrison, Phillips, and Tillery, and Grenard. They're going to be huge in the run blocking game this weekend. But in terms of the Vikings, offensive line here, kick it back to this. I think Dalton Risner, if Ed Ingram, let's just say the Vikings fall behind, 14-3 here in the first half, and the Lions O-line is able to get downhill. I think there is a chance that we see Risner in the second half. I think this leash is even shorter than I'm thinking. This could be a couple drives where if he's struggling and they're just like, hey, we're going to lose this game if we keep Ed Ingram in there. They're pulling him. They're putting in Risner, the veteran. I just think the Vikings, you just have too good of a season on your hands to, try to stick this through with Ingram and try to just, obviously he needs reps to develop, but, sometimes you just got to go with the veteran that's going to give you a better chance to win. But I'll ask you guys this. Who should start at right guard this weekend? Give me a DR for Dalton Risner or give me an EI for Ed Ingram. Let me know your thoughts down below. Now, some final thoughts heading into this game versus the Lions. I think the Vikings are going to win 31-16. I think the two biggest reasons for this is going to be the defense and Jordan Addison. I think Jordan Addison is going to have a monster game this Sunday. Justin Jefferson has killed the Lions in the past. They know this. They're going to give him all the attention. They're going to say, number 18 can't beat us. Anybody else can. And I think number 3 is going to be the reason the Vikings offense is so successful. And then I just got faith in the Flores company getting it done defensively. But if you guys want to give me a follow on Twitter, that's a handle right there. And thank you guys so much for watching today's show. See you next time. Skol Vikes.